Thanks so much for joining me for Prophy Conference. We are getting ready for a great event, and just wanted to jump in here. It's a little pre-event podcast and welcome you. Hey, look, if you're just now tuning in, this is a great time for you to go check out the website to find out everything that's going on for Prophy Conference, March 10th, 11th, and 12th. There's still time to register. We're going to be doing some great prizes, giveaways, $50 gift cards in every breakout session. We've even got some amazing grand prizes, such as a whole year-long membership to a gym in your local community. There's a lot of different cool things that we're doing there. So go check that out on the website. But today I have invited a good friend of mine, Becca Robbins from Paragon Healthcare, to join me today. And Becca, it is great to see you. Thanks so much for jumping on the call with me today to talk a little bit about prophylaxis treatment.
Hi, Jonathan. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it is great to see you. And I'm super excited. First of all, big thank you to Paragon for sponsoring this event for us this weekend, and also just being a part of so many things that we do at HOPE. And we sincerely appreciate your support and help to be able to serve the thousands of patients we serve all over the country. You couldn't do it without your partnership. So thank you for that too.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm excited to talk a little bit about prophylaxis and to talk a little bit about prophy regimen, how to stay motivated and how to keep that going. But before we dive into that, I mean, for people who might not know you, this is their first time getting to see you on a HOPE event. I'd love to find out a little bit more about where you're from, how you're impacted by hemophilia, and what you do with Paragon.
Yeah, great. So just in a nutshell, I am out of Bentonville, Arkansas, and I am a hemophilia mom. So I'm a carrier, and I have two severe A boys and one daughter that's a carrier, and I have a severe brother. So hemophilia has always been a part of my life, but didn't really affect me personally until I had my boys, and they're now 12 and 15 and both on prophylaxis. So we've been going at it for a decade or so now, and it's been a lot of trial and error. And so,
Yeah, I can imagine, one of the things that with teenagers too, is that there's a lot of motivating that goes into that dynamic of trying to keep them inspired to keep doing those infusions. So tell me, some about that. Like, how do you keep them motivated to keep doing their treatments?
well, I can tell you, I learned real quick not to motivate with money, because we tried that at the beginning, and then that motivated them a little too much. And yeah, my checkbook was dwindling. So I remember they both learned to self-infuse at camp a few years ago, and they're really motivated when they get home from camp, and they've had kind of all this peer pressure, and this little bit of success goes a long way. And so they get home from camp and they're super motivated. So, I'm proud mom, I'm filming them and doing all this stuff. And then, they hit roadblocks, and like all of us do, and infusing can have its ups and downs, and good times and bad times, and hits and misses. So, they would kind of hit stumbling blocks, and then they just want to throw in the towel and give up. And so I just really had to help explain to them. I mean, you can't be too hard on yourself. This is sometimes you're learning what nurses go to school for a couple of years to learn. And
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you just learned that at camp, and you're 10 years old. So give yourself some grace, buddy, and take it easy. And we just learned lots of little tricks. And one of the things that I didn't ever try to force was keep going at it until you're successful. I didn't make them sit there and keep poking them, obviously, or having them poke themselves over and over again. I'd say, hey, let's table it. Let's take a break. Let's put this factor in the fridge for the next hour or two. And, let's go grab ice cream, or let's go through Sonic, or let's go outside and play, ride your bike, do something. So just kind of have to keep things in perspective. What prophy is, I mean, you're going through a lot, and it's a big learning curve. So
yeah, that's incredible. To have to navigate all of those things, and self-infusing it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, it is something you got to be, committed to. And we've experienced that. Of course, I learned how to self-infuse when I was 8 years old, probably like your brother did. And so, we were taught pretty early, but man, I tell you, it's a powerful tool when you learn it, but boy, it sure takes a good bit to do that. So then I had my daughter who's on prophylaxis regimen as well. and trying to teach her how to stick and go through that. I honestly would have rather been the patient than I would have been the parent, because the parent thing was really hard
Yeah.
to keep them going. I mean, that's a tough role to be in.
Yes, yes. It does get a little stressful on the parents sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's so neat though that you're able to do what you're doing with Paragon now, so that you can help moms. I know that you've, and parents and even guys who are struggling, and also try to figure out how to navigate these things, because you have so much personal experience tied to, what you're doing, both from the teenage side, but also growing up with your brother, right? You saw him go through a lot of ups and downs too, right?
Right, right. Yes. And, Prophy wasn't really in our vocabulary back in the 80s and 90s. And
Right.
so that's another thing I try to remind my boys of. You're doing this to prevent these
Right.
bleeds. And whereas Uncle Ben, he had to go to the ER every time he got a bleed. And it wasn't until it got really bad and really painful. So,
Right.
I think the older they're getting, the more they're learning and understanding the depth of that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That's so good. Yeah, prevention is very difficult to be committed to, but it's very, very, very important, especially for when you've seen people go down the long end of the road and see what the challenges are. And look, that's an advantage in some ways for you to have, for them to be able to say, Uncle Ben has this, he's got some of this joint damage, but that could have been avoided had he had access to
right.
this at an early age. And so, so I think that's really incredible that you have that support in the middle of it, even with you in your own family.
Oh, it's
Now, I
great.
understand you guys are talking about this very issue at accountability, I think is the name of the topic that you guys are going to be doing during the Prophy Conference here coming up real soon with Kevin Harris. That's going to be an exciting breakout session, March 11th at 2:15 p.m. Tell me a little bit about that session and what you're excited about with doing that with Kevin.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess I did forget to mention earlier, I am an account executive with Paragon, and I cover Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri, and Kansas. And so, I met Kevin years ago at camp. We are both camp counselors, and he's pretty dynamic, and he attracts a lot of people, and very charismatic. And his accountability talk is really amazing. And we think of that word accountability. Sometimes we gear it for young people that need accountability, but really, I mean, all of us need accountability at certain points of our life. And so, regardless of where you're at in your stage of life, you're going to take something away from it. So it's a really good talk. So
That's awesome. Well, I'm really excited about it, and I'm looking forward to being there myself. So people can jump in and get to know you a little bit better at that time as well.
yep.
And of course, even in the exhibit halls, we're going to have some time with our scavenger hunt that we're doing there. You can get right involved in Zoom. The best way to get the links, I always tell people, is just to go to the website. If you go to hope-charities.org, you can register right there on the homepage. You'll see a little thing that says Prophy Conference. Just click on it. You can register, sign up. We'll send you everything you need to know. You can just come for just the one session. Just come for that one accountability session, which is with Kevin, or you can come to any of the other sessions that you like as well. But we think it's going to be a great time. We're also going to have a lot of fun with gift cards and all kinds of other fun stuff. But Becca, I'm just so thankful that you guys are going to be there and be a part of it. It's been great to hang out with you today. And is there anything else you'd like to share with anybody about how they can get in touch with you?
Well, thanks so much, Jonathan. And we just love partnering with you guys, and we're behind your mission 100%. And we've seen what a difference the Hope help has made in lives of our patients. So we're really thankful for what you guys do. And looking forward to next week. Can't wait for it. And you can reach me at brobbins@paragonhealthcare.com. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Great job. Well, thanks so much for being on this podcast with me today. And I look forward to seeing you in just a little while. So thanks so much again for tuning in and taking some time out to be with me today and hanging out with me and Becca as we talk a little bit about the great things that are coming around the corner. Like I said before, if you haven't had a chance to, make sure you get on the website at hope-charities.org. Register for this free event. It's one of these things. We're coming right to your home. You can do it right from your cell phone, your tablet, your PC, your computer, whatever is the easiest for you. But we're going to be doing lots of fun giveaways and lots of prizes and all kinds of things. If you have questions, like if you have something specific, you say, oh gosh, I wonder if I can do this, you can always email us at events@hope-charities.org. We'd be happy to answer those questions for you right away. And make sure that you put that on your calendar, March 11th at 2:15 p.m. to be there with me and Becca and Kevin and the whole crew. So we're going to have a lot of fun and get to know each other better and learn a lot more about how to get through this wild and crazy thing called staying consistent with prophylaxis treatment. So thanks so much for being here today, and we'll see you in the next one.